Hey guys, Flashman 2008 here, back again with another banger JoJo's video. Today, we're going over all the things that I want to see in the JoJoLands. Go! If for whatever reason you didn't know, the JoJoLands is the 9th part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and which means, it's the most recent. It's still ongoing. JoJoLand ended in 2022, ended a few years ago, and JoJoLand has been going in its wake since 2023. So yeah, since it started in 2023, it's only at, I think, 26 chapters as of me recording this. So it's still very early in the plot, and there are a lot of things that could, come forward that haven't happened already. I have 10 things we're gonna go through, so let's get started. So starting things off, number 1, I want to see the group get a 6th team member. Don't get me wrong, I love the group dynamic that everyone has going on. I love Jodio, Dragona, Paco, Usagi, and Charming Man. I think they're all really cool. I think they're all really interesting characters, and their stands are all very well rounded. But speaking of their stands, I think that there is a specific thing lacking. With the Hustle and Big Mouth Strikes Again, that's 2 integrated type stands. So, not a lot of bizarre designs that can come along from that. And the Mattekudasai and Smooth Operators are 2 support type stands. With November Rain and the Hustle being like the only stands that can actually do any type of damage without the use of extra tools like knives or guns. I want to see another team member come in, maybe another girl. We haven't had 2 girls on a team since Stone Ocean. I mean, unless you want to count Hot Pants and Lucy and Steel Ball Run, but that was more of an ensemble. I just want to see a 6th team member actively in the field with the group. I think that'd be really great. The second thing I want to see elaborated on more in the JoJoLands is the Brando Bloodline. Jodio is the Steel Ball Run universe equivalent for Giorno, and what made Giorno such a special and unique Joestar was the fact that Dio was effectively his dad. That bled a lot of interesting parallels throughout part 5. And the reason we know that Jodio is Giorno's equivalent, outside of the whole organized crime and gang aspects of JoJoLands that tie back in the Golden Wind, is the fact that he has Dio in his name. Now, for whatever reason, his name is just Jodio, which means I think we need to see more Dio in this part, or at least get to see more Dio. Diego Brando is one of the most popular characters to come out of Steel Ball Run, so the fact that he hasn't gotten alluded to at all yet, I think is kind of weird. And we've seen very little of Jodio's father. I think it'd be really easy to just be like, yo, Jodio's father was a Brando, or to have another Brando come in. Like if we were able to get a Johnny flashback in part 8, I think we can get some more Dio lore just for anything. Even though his story was kind of complete in part 7, I think if we could get more Dio lore in part 9, that would be much appreciated. Number 3, I want to see more alternate universe part 5 characters. As of right now, the only direct equivalent character we've seen in part 9 is Rohan, and that's just because he's Araki's self-insert. Part 7 and part 8 gives a lot of characters who, even if they only relate to main universe characters by namesake, were still references, right? Like, there's Abdul and Strohan in part 7, and Kei Nijimura and Yasuho Hirose in part 8. Like characters that fill similar niches or just references, we at least saw more of them with this being an alternate universe, and we haven't really seen that yet. Like I mentioned Jodio's namesake, he's obviously the Giorno equivalent, but his name isn't even Giorno. And this is looking to be the only alternate universe part that doesn't have any Joestar equivalent by name. Just drop a background character that has the last name Mista or Narancia, or give me something to work with. Heck, there's so many La Squadra characters you could work with. They just like drop a Formaggio, or drop a, what's his name? Drop a Formaggio or drop a Pesci, just like give us something. I want to see a risotto in part 9. I always forget that all the part 5 characters need their food. I want to see more direct counterparts between part 5 and part 9 characters. Going off of what I just said, number 4, I know this is going to happen, but I can't wait to see how they do it. I want to see a Doppio or Diavalo equivalent. Part 7 is based on part 1, so we got Dio in the world in there. Part 8 is based on part 4, so we got Yoshikage Kira and Kill the Queen in there, with sheer heart attack and all that. Part 9 is based on part 5, so I think we should get some sort of Doppio and Diavolo reference, and that means that we're gonna see King Crimson. Bro, King Crimson in JoJoLands would be such a game changer. It would be by far the strongest stand in that part, because overall, I think the stands in JoJoLands have been kind of weak. We don't know what Key West or what Howler stand does yet, but I don't think it's going to be on King Crimson level, because Doppio is my GOAT, bro. I just want to see something relating back to him. Number 5, I want to see more of the Mattekudasai. In one of the first videos I made for this channel, I talked about how much I think the Mattekudasai is underrated and how it's just such a strong stand, especially because it has the ability to create or at least replicate anything. And especially with how much guns and knives and non-stand objects have been used in combat, I think having a stand that can replicate those objects would be incredibly helpful. If Dragona asked Usagi for an AK-47, the Mattekudasai would turn into that. I think that's untapped potential right there. But then again, I'm just ranting about the Mattekudasai again. I know it's going to see more use, but personally, I want to see it do some crazy stuff. Number 6, Meryl Make You has to have a stand. I need to see where her stand is. It's a similar situation to Howler, actually, where these two people who are involved in criminal business that involves a lot of stand users have not used their stand. With Howler, we at least know he has a stand, and with the way these chapters are looking, he's probably going to end up showing it off eventually. Meryl has shown no signs of it. She literally got her fingers blown off, and she still hasn't revealed anything about her stand, or even if she has one, right? Now, I know that we have had characters that have not had stands be incredibly important, right? We've had characters like Anne, Lucy, and Hayato be important to the plot and not have a stand at all, and Meryl May might be one of those characters, but she's a big boss of a hidden crime organization that's basically Diavalo. Yo, what if they gave Meryl May King Crimson? That would be so tough. It'd be so stupid. It'd be so tough. I just want to see at least confirmation that Meryl May has a stand or she doesn't, because she's been getting beat up these last few chapters, and why hasn't she defended herself, bro? I just need to see something. Number 7, I want to see some Howler Company board members. Howler is, in my mind, obviously being set up to be the big bad, even if Araki's going about it in a more unorthodox way than what he usually does. And the Howler Company has hired these corrupt public officials, the lawyer Key West, the cop Lame Shebang, and the firefighter Ningbo. But Howler is a CEO with a stand. There's no way he doesn't have more actual employees that have stands. And with the way that money is being talked about in this part, and like transfer of money and going about it through like ways with the lava rock, there's no way Howler's board members are not freaking out that their land is being seized. And with Howler being a stand user that hires other stand users, and you know the natural law, at least in the main universe, that stand users are attracted to other stand users, there has to be more stand users. I'm hoping for board members part of Howler's company. So just to see maybe a board member be a villain, I think that would be really interesting. Number 8, this is a gripe I had with JoJolian that's somewhat carrying into JoJoLands, and it's a take I hear a lot in the community. I want to see less long range stands and less ability focused stands and more humanoid punchy stands. Now I know that's super basic. And I'm not saying I want to just completely get rid of these, you know, unique and bizarre abilities that have brought JoJo so much acclaim and popularity. But I'm tired of seeing broken long range stands that will literally just kill people and their users get up and close. I've gone on rants about how Doppio Waha is one of the most broken stands ever. And I'm seeing that get repeated with Lulu's Bags Grooves, right? Like you have a stand that literally just kills people in a way that's undetectable and untraceable to you. And what you do is you close the distance. I don't care if there's an in-plot reason for it. If there are going to be long-range automatic stands that are incredibly deadly, make it like Black Sabbath and Pulpo. Have them defeat the stand and then go find the user. And also, I miss seeing humanoid stands, right? I think some of the most iconic stands in the series are the humanoid ones, or at least some of the most interesting designs. Like Vitamin C and In a Silent Way stand out as some of my favorite designs from part 7 and part 8 respectively. This is the first time that we've had a main cast with nobody have a humanoid stand. The same thing kind of happened in part 7 with Tusk, but Tusk grew from being like a blob of something into being, you know, humanoid with Tusk Act 3 and Act 4. So I just want to see more humanoid stand designs, and come on, we can't have a JoJo's part without a punch rush. I want to see a punch rush in this part. Get to it, Araki. Getting to the end, number 9, this is something else I kind of hear in the community a lot. I want to see a part 8 character cameo. Through flashbacks, we had Johnny and Lucy cameo in part 7 and, you know, kind of affect the plot. And the time gap between part 7 and part 8 is like a long time. I think it's like early 20th century to early 21st century. Like it's basically a century in between them. I think part 8 takes place in 2011, 2012, and part 9 takes place in 2020. So that's like less than a decade. So there's no way we don't see a part 8 character cameo in part 9. Obviously, I'm like everyone else. I want to see more rock humans. I want to see Josuke show up. I want to see more Rokakaka. Honestly, I don't even care who it is. It could even be Jobin. Honestly, my money is on Yasuho showing up. Because if part 8 is the part 4 equivalent for the alternate universe, then part 9 would be the part 5 equivalent for the alternate universe. And who appeared in part 5 from part 4? A Hirose, Koichi appeared. So honestly, my money's on Yasuho showing up. I just want someone, okay? And honestly, I could see them doing something like how Rohan is investigating Hawaii to, you know, get more inspiration and see about the lava rock. I could see someone mention, yeah, like 10 or so years ago, this fruit guy came to Hawaii and got some of our, you know, tropical fruits. And they could show Rai in a flashback. I love part 8. I just want to see a part 8 character show up again. Can you blame me? So last thing I have on list number 10, I have it written down here. And I literally have it written, more Joseph Joestar, literally anything. Literally anything. The last 2 chapters of part 8 were just this random thing between Lucy and Joseph fighting a rock bug And they never mentioned it again? What do you mean part 8 Joseph has his own alternate Hermit Purple? What do you mean he's the grandparent of Jodio and we never see him? Like, there's no way. Joseph was introduced in the last 2 chapters of part 8 and is pretty important to part 9, and he's not gonna show up at all. There's no way he doesn't. I just want to see something. Araki, please don't make this one of the Araki forgot moments and introduce Joseph and make him such an integral part of the part and then not have it be any payoff, right? Especially after teasing us with Hermit Purple. Like, I want to see if this thing has any alternate abilities. That's my last thing. I just want to see more Joseph Joestar in part 9, okay? Like more Fumi-kun or whatever his name is. Please, Araki. So that's another Flashback 2008 video. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I gotta do the whole YouTubers spiel. I think it's something like 90% of y'all that watch my videos aren't subscribed. So hit that subscribe button, like, share to y'all friends and y'all family, and I'll see you next time. Flashback 2008 out.